Who knew SpongeBob fans' fear of butterflies would be justified by Kirby of all things 10 years later? Return to Dreamland was the big reunion special people were waiting for. Everyone was there. Kirby, Dedede, Waddle Dee's derogatory, Waddle Dee important, Meta Knight, horrific cosmic terror butterfly. I assure you we'll be getting back to this thing sooner rather than later. Even Marks was there, despite a sizable amount of evidence that he shouldn't be. Not that it stopped anyone before, but regardless. After nearly 10 years of ups and downs both with Kirby and mostly with Nintendo, yikes, mainline Kirby was back in all its glory. So how'd it do? It got a remake on the Switch. How do you think it did? This was arguably the best Kirby game up until that point. You have these fantastically designed and visually interesting levels full of copy abilities, except now you finally have the multiple moves from Superstar back. Something fans had been asking HAL Laboratories to do for about 15 years at that point. Suddenly them taking 30 years to add 3D to this series makes a lot more sense, doesn't it? On that note, please don't take 15 years to make the sequel and do some of this, okay? Cool. Now, let's talk about the music. Talking about Kirby music being good is kind of like talking about concrete being hard. Like, yeah, no shit Sherlock, it's Kirby. The only reason I would want dragons to exist in real life is just so I could ride one through space while listening to this. All these tracks have the ability to take you somewhere else. Chilly Area feels like I'm seeing snow for the first time. Happy Mambo feels like I'm building sandcastles at a beach resort. Sandy Wilderness feels like I'm running through a desert bazaar with Aladdin. There is such a childlike sense of wonder and playfulness that all you want to do is sit back and enjoy it. Until the game says playtime is over and it's time to die. All the bosses got a lot of extra attention this time around, almost like someone said, we got 4 playable characters now, including Bandana Waddle Dee for the first time ever. These bosses cannot go out like this anymore. Except for Wispy. But other than him, all the bosses are great. The True Arena and Kirby games have always been a highlight, but this right here is what hooked me on them. Imagine going 10 rounds, you got like 2 full heals left and are trying to make them last, only for this Super Saiyan monkey to show up and go, nah, you're done. No, I'm not. I can do this all day, stupid monkey. You should have gone Super Saiyan Blue. Bitch. One of my biggest complaints about the previous games were how the collectibles kept getting in the way of the new mechanics they introduced. Like what, were you having fun with your awesome double-sided lightsaber? Too bad, this crystal requires Rock Cutter. Enjoy going back 5 levels just to get Rock, dickhead. Here though, not only are the collectibles not required for the ending, but instead you have these new tools not tied to standard copy abilities. So instead of going back 5 levels for Rock, the game says, here, have to shoot from Mario 3. Or do none of that. The only thing you miss out on is some mini games and challenge rooms. Stuff you'd only want if you like torturing yourself in games. Like I do. But, you know what I like in this game more than anything else? Aw, look at him, he has little goggles! You can ride on each other like in Kirby 64. You can hang on players while they're floating. When you have the water ability, the bubbles you blow underwater have a much farther range. These are such small, situational details that most people are just going to stumble onto by complete accident. But you do notice them, and you appreciate them. That's kind of what Kirby is at its core. Sure, it's easy to focus on the big changes or joke that Kirby's Suck game has officially been upgraded to Super Suck. But Kirby has always been, in my eyes, kind of an understated character, where the easy to miss things are the most important. The games never seem as exciting like something like Mario or Zelda, until they are. But they're always fun, well-made games that you can go back and experience something new from. They are games anyone can enjoy, and games that have lasted the test of time. And that is especially true now more than ever. Fellas, buddies, bubbos, Kerbos. This remake is one of the best Kirby games of all time. This game doesn't reinvent what made the original so great, it just polishes it to the most perfect degree. The backgrounds have so much more detail, the controls are buttery smooth, even this no longer sucks ass to use. And the art and designs? Look, I didn't care that it was based off the cancelled game. I thought this looked stupid at first too, but that's because I was the stupid one. This looks great! Also, if you don't like the new Club Penguin looking DDD, you need to get off this video, this channel, this website, and whatever you're using to watch this to go become a better person. Club Penguin DDD will be waiting. Even the mini games are great. I looked at this like, I mean, that's fine, but I don't really need them. Never mind. There are so many banger minigames and so many cool mass prizes that I am now demanding there be a Kirby Party series. I will pre-order that day one. They even brought back this. How the fuck can you not be playing this right now? I'm about to buy a second copy. And dude, I haven't even mentioned the epilogue and the boss changes. I'm not gonna either, but all you gotta know is not only did they add one of the coolest looking bosses of all time, they saw mods of the original final boss and made the new final boss even more ridiculous. Though if I had to nitpick, and since for the first time ever I'm actually kinda close to reaching YouTube's all important 10-minute mark, I am a bit disappointed that the Magolor epilogue is just, you know, your adventure with Magolor. It's cool, and they did change it a bit from the standard, but back when we had like no information on this other than Magolor escaping from hell and upgrading himself, I figured, oh hey, character that comes from a pantheon of overpowered beings trying to escape from the underworld while slowly upgrading their abilities? That's Hades. Is this a Kirby roguelike? Dude, that is one of the— Nope. Look, I know Nintendo and HAL as a whole like to keep things accessible, so roguelikes typically wouldn't be on the menu. I mean, there's a reason they included a full-on Helper Magolor mode, but also, 1, all these are on the eShop now, and 2, they literally bumped the True Arena up from 15 to 21 fights, and gave Magolor Soul the ability to do this. You can't tell me HAL doesn't think their audience is psychotic enough to not enjoy something like this. Actual golden opportunity to experiment with difficult modes outside the True Arena, and it was wasted. If anyone knows how to mod Switch games, or at least knows someone that can do that, Kirby roguelike is like 90% done. Please, get on that. But hey, besides that, if you're a Kirby fan, this is the perfect game for you. But to me, it's also kind of a sad one. This is 100% speculation, but part of me thinks this is gonna be goodbye for this sort of Kirby game, at least for a while. Here's the thing, Forgotten Land was huge and different, not just for the 3D, but the style itself. It was pretty obvious from interviews that HAL was open to making more games like Forgotten Land, but that was before it became the series' all-time bestseller. Everyone loved this game, fans loved it, non-fans loved it, it was nominated for and won multiple game awards. Something I can say for a fact has never happened with this series before. And ever since, we've had a lot more Kirby games pop up, both old and new. Like, why is Tilt and Tumble here? I'll give you one good guess. And don't get me wrong, I am super excited for this new era of Kirby. I'm still sad we never got DLC for it, and I want them to explore this new style of game a lot more over the next few years. This is a good change to the Kirby formula. But I am gonna miss this while they explore the new stuff, you know? 10 years ago, I was playing it with my brother and his friend. Last week, I was playing it with my roommates. It is a timeless Kirby game. It is the culmination of everything that came before it. It was the Kirby game to play. I'm sure there'll be more games like this one day, but for now, I do think this is goodbye. And at the very least, I can say it ended on a high note. Murdering a guy who betrayed you, purging his soul, and sending him straight to hell on a journey of redemption after becoming an Eldritch abomination. That is what Kirby's all about. Play the fucking game.